Hey everyone, once again, AJ's back, so that's good. Luckily, whatever you had, it's out of your system now, which is good, because we're coming up on our first award show tomorrow. It's insane. We've waited so long for this, the Golden Globes are tomorrow.
Oh, because you're doing, yeah.
Yeah, time travel. But unfortunately, has nothing to do with a bad horror movie we're going to be reviewing on the video that's going to be tomorrow, or should I say yesterday in this case. So, apparently this video was actually requested. So, yeah. Thank you out there for, you know who you are, who requested this video. So,
That's really funny, because I always figure the one awards that people probably give less of a shit about the most is the guilds.
I thought the People's Choice Awards, but apparently that video is doing quite well for itself. Who knew? And it's very, very false after not watching the ceremony, but I got some of them right, so that's all that matters, I guess. So, given the fact that every Thursday here until the first Thursday in February, which I don't have the calendar in front of me, I don't know what date it is. I think it's February 4th, maybe. That might be right, I don't know, because I don't have a calendar in front of me. We're going to be doing our prediction videos. And we've already had... It's not a video without that going off, is it? We've already had our Golden Globes prediction video on the 2nd. This week, Critics' Choice Awards video went out, actually, this past Thursday, which is technically today. And next week will be the crazy insanity that was the Screen Actors Guild. Yeah, that's all over the place. Such an impromptu video.
Perhaps we got lucky and that video is not as bad as we remember.
Maybe. I haven't watched it yet, so we'll see. Week after that is going to be the BAFTA video, which we have yet to film, which we will, don't worry. And Film Independent Spirit Awards is that Thursday after that, and the first Thursday in February will be our Oscar predictions. So all that's coming. And, of course, AJ's movie reviews, as well as our verses. A lot of movie content in the next couple of months, so we're going to be ending Oscar-themed verses in the end of January, which I'm sure you're very excited about.
I'm also going to be reviewing an Oscar-themed movie.
Yes, you are. How appropriate. That's for Oscar Sunday. Anyway.
I'm referring to Oscar Isaac.
Oh, I thought we were talking about verses.
No.
Well, it works both ways.
Yeah.
It really does. So, in the meantime, we're going to talk about the guilds, and why not, right? So, we're going to talk about the Producers Guild, the Writers Guild, and the Directors Guild, and all three of these nomination sets have all been released now. So, we're going to give our opinions on such. Now, AJ wrote them down. We don't have a teleprompter today, we just have the handy-dandy notebook. So, we're going to do it that way. And we're going to discuss, again, as we do here, what is going to win, what possibly could take it would be second place, and what will be the dark horse prediction. So, AJ, without any further ado, let's talk about the PGA.
Alright. You might notice that something isn't here.
Yeah, big time.
The lineup is American Hustle, Blue Jasmine, Kevin Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Save Mr. Banks, 12 Years a Slave, and The Wolf of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when we were doing like really early predictions and I said there's two people that the Oscars almost never turn down, and that's Woody Allen and the Coen brothers?
Correct.
One of them's getting turned down, it seems, in favor of the other, and that is really not the direction I was going.
No, it wasn't.
And I've yet to see Inside Llewyn Davis.
A couple days.
4 or 5 days from now.
Yeah.
I guarantee it's better than Blue Jasmine is.
I have a personal bias on both of them, so who knows?
A Streetcar Named Overacting is Blue Jasmine's other title.
Nice.
Other than a lot of people, also apart from my obvious dismay for Blue Jasmine, the other, depending on who you are, kind of somewhat surprise nomination was Dallas Buyers Club.
Not if you're me.
I'm trying to think of what all was not here. August isn't here. The Butler isn't here. Philomena's not here. Weinstein completely struck out, it seems.
I don't know why Philomena's not in there, honestly.
Unless he did one on... No, he didn't in none of these.
No.
Okay.
Bad year for Harvey. At least so far.
Mm.
I mean, we still haven't got to our televised award shows yet, so...
But that's the... normally, the guilds are kind of a make or break thing.
Yeah, true.
But then there's, like... Everybody loves to point in the direction of the girl with the dragon tattoo in 2011.
That's a very good idea right
which
there.
got PGA, DJ, and I think WGA also.
I believe so.
And it got in for, like, Rooney Mara, and it won editing. But none of the big ones.
Yep.
Big ones, I mean these three. Obviously acting is big, but whatever.
Her has come back with a vengeance, too.
Her has been here since the Critics Award. Her has been here since National Board of Review.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess now's the time I should probably talk about the fact that, okay.
I want to break that gimmick out for me so I can see what we're talking about.
Oh, first I gotta talk about the Weinstein movies.
Okay.
If you saw in the prediction video, the last one, I have all three of those Weinstein movies getting in. In place of Blue Jasmine, Dallas Buyers Club, and...
Saving Mr. Banks.
Yes. And The Wolf of Wall Street. What else did I have in there?
I don't know, we do not have access to our predictions right now.
It doesn't matter.
We'll do that for the other videos.
Right.
Don't worry. The recap videos.
Right now, what I'm talking about is... Oh my god, that's on my brain now, and I can't fucking figure out what it is. Inside Llewyn Davis.
Even we're forgetting about it, and that's bad.
Oh, Jesus.
Man.
Okay. Now, talking about these three Weinstein movies.
Okay.
Okay. We go through the trouble of doing the prediction video. I guess I feel the need to stick up for what I said.
Okay.
But that's not saying that I still believe in those predictions we did.
Okay.
I'm just saying if I were to stick up for these predictions, this is what I would say.
Great way to run around in circles here.
Let's start with the Butler.
Okay.
Okay. What I was initially thinking was, I was all over this Forrest Whitaker thing.
I know you were.
And then he got that SAG nomination.
Yep.
And now I just it was one more prediction video. I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stick with him.
Yeah.
I mean, now obviously it could be DiCaprio, or it could be Bale, or it could be there's a third one in there. I can't even remember.
Michael B. Jordan can even make a comeback at this point.
Or
it could be the same choice and go with Robert Redford.
Yeah, Redford.
Yeah.
That was the one I was trying to think of.
I always thought you were going out of the box, but apparently not.
So, what I was thinking was, if the Butler were to get actor supporting in, not win, but nominated for,
of course,
actor, supporting actress, and like art direction and costumes, production design. I keep forgetting that change.
Only for the Oscars, though.
It's the same fucking thing.
Yes, indeed.
That would be enough to propel it, including picture. That'd be 5 nominations.
Yeah.
I don't even think it made it into the Art Directors Guild.
No, I don't believe so.
But
maybe. I looked at it this morning. I don't remember it. Sorry.
Okay. Regardless, even if it was just actor, supporting actress, and costume design, and you add in picture, that is still 4 nominations, which is totally logical.
Yeah, of course.
You know, if you had to defend the idea of the Butler getting in.
Do you want me to throw my 2 cents in of that?
Well, first I gotta do Philomena in August.
I was gonna go one by one, but go ahead.
Now, the reason I would defend the idea of August getting in would be, obviously, Streep seems safe. Julia Roberts seems safe. Adapted screenplay seems really wide open, and I would find it hard. I'm finding it hard to imagine in my head Tracy Letts getting snubbed. Not only just because of the movie, but because of who he is.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is like this masterful playwright that adapts his plays into masterful screenplays.
Okay.
Like Bug and Killer Joe.
Yeah.
And Julia Roberts was talking about him at the round table like he was God. It was weird. It was funny to hear Julia Roberts say, I mean, Killer Joe. Oh.
Well, yeah.
I want to watch Julia Roberts watch Killer Joe.
Julia Roberts' character and August watching Killer Joe makes more sense.
So, instead of eat the fish, bitch, it's eat the chicken, bitch.
Indeed.
And even if it were to do nothing else, just actress, supporting actress, and adapted screenplay, that's
safe to get you in a picture.
That makes your movie relatively strong.
Yeah, of course.
And lastly, Philomena. Philomena only has 2 really big shots with actress and adapted screenplay.
Mm-hmm.
But arguably, I'm saying arguably, Dench is in second place and Philomena's in second place in adapted screenplay. So the 2 categories that it will be in not only are categories that are a big deal, but they are very strong contenders in.
Yeah, but...
And movies like that, like if they're assuming there's 10...
Which is what everybody's thinking right now.
These 3 would be like at the bottom. So I don't know. I really don't know what's up with this surge of Blue Jasmine suddenly.
There must be a reason I predicted a long time ago. I didn't put it in picture though.
I mean, there was a while there where everybody raved about the movie when it first came out.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I think that mainly could possibly stem from the fact that To Run With Love was so fucking bad.
Maybe.
Blue Jasmine seemed like a masterpiece.
And like Vicky Cristina Barcelona versus Midnight in Paris?
It would be, what was before Midnight in Paris? It was, You Will Meet a Tall Dark Stranger.
Tall Dark Stranger, yeah.
Nobody liked Whatever Works either.
Which sucks, because that movie's really good.
Regardless, when Blue Jasmine came out, people did rave about the movie, but then they mainly raved about Blanchett.
Yep.
And then that evolved over the year to just raving about Blanchett.
Yep.
You never heard about the movie itself anymore.
No. Not even Woody Allen.
Yeah. There were people, like, every now and then throughout the year, like, Woody Allen and director was kind of an idea that kind of popped in and out of the year, but it was dismissed very quickly for obvious reasons.
If we would have
that
had
obvious reason being, why would that happen?
If we wouldn't have had such a strong year in director, I could see he could have been number 5.
And I've actually heard, this is more of a WGA thing, but I'll go and bring it up now. People say you might as well say that Blue Jasmine is adapted because it's basically Woody Allen completely and totally ripping off A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah, it really is.
Well, you know. So, yeah.
Well, obviously, if I remember correctly, the lineup for PGA is my Oscar lineup. I think the only difference I have is I have Inside Llewyn Davis in for picture.
Instead of Blue Jasmine.
Instead of Blue Jasmine. And I'm the guy that's been predicting Sally Hawkins since day one, but we'll talk about her when we get to the BAFTA video. Now, here's the reason why, and I don't have a problem with these movies at all. I like The Butler, I like August, and I like Philomena, but I don't think any of them are getting in.
You saw about 40 minutes of The Butler.
No. Wrong. I like The Butler. I'm at the point now that I'm starting to believe Oprah's not getting in at the Oscars. I believe...
Who do you have in her place?
Julia Roberts.
What? So who do you have? Sally Hawkins, Julia Roberts, Lupita Nyong'o, Jane Squibb, and...
Julia Roberts.
I already said Julia Roberts, didn't I?
No.
This is confusing.
Basically, I had everybody in that list plus Oprah. I did not have Julia Roberts running. Now I would take Oprah out and run Julia Roberts. Especially after watching August.
Okay.
Meryl Streep is not as bulletproof as we thought she was because at the BAFTAs, which we'll talk about later, she missed. Which, I mean, it could happen, but I mean, it's a great performance. I don't know how she missed.
Well, McConaughey and Leto did too.
Yeah,
so
the Dallas Buyers Club is completely ignored at...
So was her.
Yeah, which are 2 big things that you just don't do right now, especially. Dallas Buyers Club's picking up a lot of steam. And it's going to get in a picture.
That was the thing. Yeah, to talk about why I wasn't predicting Dallas Buyers Club there was...
there you
go. Original screenplay is just so packed.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, if you were to put them in a box, shit would be sticking out. You'd see, like, Fruit Bale and Inside Llewyn Davis, like, hanging out at the side.
Yeah.
that I figured the bet, like, you have McConaughey and Leto, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
And there's some people saying with all all 3 guild supports, Jennifer Garner could do what Jackie Weaver did last year.
I wouldn't mind that, but I'm not predicting her.
The reason I stopped predicting Dallas Buyers Club in picture is because the thing that's going to propel it into picture is a screenplay nomination.
Yeah.
And I thought that screenplay nomination would be very hard to get, but...
Apparently not so much now. It's still possible.
But the original screenplay is also where some weird shit happens. So.
Yeah, but
seeing as how it's such a packed year, I don't know exactly what, if any, the surprises would be.
What's a surprise at this point that could get in? Because I think everything... Yeah. Yeah, that would also mean Gandolfini's going to have to get into supporting.
If there's like a lot of love behind Gandolfini, I think...
it's possible.
It wouldn't be totally out of the realm of possibility for enough said to just say, oh, by the way...
We're here. So, talking about the PGA, we've got the winner. Of course, we have second place, and we have our dark horse. So, AJ, pick your poison for the PGA.
The winner will be 12 Years a Slave. The runner-up will be American Hustle, and the spoiler is Gravity.
I think the winner is going to be 12 Years a Slave as well. I think my best picture winner, American Hustle, is the second place. And with all this love, I can't deny it. I think your dark horse is Dallas Buyers Club.
That's interesting.
I'm going out on a limb here thinking that it's a possibility that it's going to just swoop in and do a lot more damage than anybody thought it would. Who knows?
That, so you're thinking, this is kind of a weird comparison, but I'm going to go with it now that I brought it up.
Fair enough.
Last year, nobody in the world was thinking about Christoph Waltz.
No.
And then as soon as we had the first televised award show, he just took off and then won.
Yeah.
You're thinking the Christoph Waltz of this year is going to be a movie and not a performance.
Yes, actually I am. It's an out there prediction, I'm aware, but it's what I'm thinking right now. Once again, Gravity is not as powerful as people think.
But then again, this year could also just be as predictable as any other.
Oh yeah, easily. I hope not, but who knows? We'll see in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to talk about the WGA. So there's some things missing off this list as well.
Eligibility.
There's eligibility issues.
WGA eligibility is fucking weird. Like, nobody even knows. Like, if you ask somebody, so what's up with the eligibility of the WGA, they'll probably just look at you and say, I don't fucking know. Even the biggest of experts will tell you that. 12 Years a Slave and Philomena were ineligible for a reason I do not know.
It makes no sense.
Then there's the cases of, like, every year Tarantino does a movie.
Yeah.
Apparently you have to be a member of the WGA for them to nominate you.
Okay,
you have to be
fair.
in their special club, and Tarantino is not a member of the WGA, so he's never been nominated for that. So, I have no idea who isn't part of the club, but... And with original screenplay, you really can't tell what's missing.
No.
Obviously, the Coen brothers.
Big time.
I guess we're doing original first now that we're on it.
We'll start with original.
We have American Hustle, Blue Jasmine, Dallas Buyers Club, Her, and Nebraska. Goddamn fucking Blue Jasmine. I don't get it. Well, I never liked Woody Allen. I did mildly, like with Bullets Over Broadway and a few others, Manhattan Murder Mystery. It wasn't until I started rewatching his movies over again after Midnight in Paris came out where he started to grow on me.
Developing
I saw Annie Hall again.
Oh, there you go.
But this, so like, pre-Midnight in Paris, when I hadn't rewatched his movies, I'd only seen them once and didn't like hardly any of them.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have absolutely despised Blue Jasmine.
I'm sure you would have.
But now that I appreciate him a lot more than I used to, I can tell you that I'm still not a fan of Blue Jasmine. I like Blue Jasmine, but it doesn't grow well in my head. So, long story short, I'm pissed that Blue Jasmine's here.
I'm not, but I've had it since day one.
So PGA was one thing, and then people really started to get concerned when WGA came out, and there was absolutely no sign of inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah.
So nobody knows what's up with that. Maybe they're just you have these people that they love to award just over and over and over again. It's almost like they got sick of awarding the Coen brothers because they were a kind of a surprise nomination in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Directing True Grit.
Yeah.
The big Nolan snub.
Yeah, that was a bad year.
Like, a lot of people thought the Nolan snub came from Russell, but I think the last slot was filled by the Coen brothers.
Yeah. Well, then you have the National Society came out and rewarded it with everything, including Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
So I mean, what does it mean? They miss the guilds, but they still get National Society. So
yeah, that's
what's the importance?
One's a critics award and one's a guild. The guild is the most important. Obviously.
Well, yeah, but both of them can be voters for the Oscars too.
Critics don't vote for the Oscars. I guess we should say what's going to win and
yeah,
etc. It's a death match between Russell and Spike Jonze.
Yeah.
Russell. American Hustle has another screenwriter that actually wrote the American Bullshit script. I can't remember his name, and I feel bad now.
We'll remember it for another video. Trust us.
I'll say American Hustle takes it.
Yeah,
but Spike Jonze will be like
second place.
Yeah, that'll just be the bloodiest of death matches.
Totally.
The spoiler's obviously Dallas Buyers Club.
Yeah. That's a big duh right there.
People actually expected the director of Dallas Buyers Club to get into DGA almost.
I was thinking about
predicting him after a while.
We were talking about it on the phone, and I was thinking that there was a possibility that was going to actually happen. But they went actually really safe and boring with the other one.
We got another thing to do before we go to DGA.
I know, I just wanted to let you know.
So, are you on the same page with American Hustle than her than Dallas?
Oh God, yes, absolutely.
Adapted, which is where we run into a bunch of eligibility issues. So if this lineup sounds weird,
it's a very strange lineup, but not a bad one.
It's August, Before Midnight, Captain Phillips, Lone Survivor, and The Wolf of Wall Street. Obviously, as much as I like the movie, the clear filler here for either 12 Years a Slave or Philomena was Lone Survivor.
Yeah.
Of these three, I guess the one that's not locked in is August, because I think Before Midnight, Captain Phillips, and The Wolf of Wall Street are for sure, but there's a lot of people still doubting Before Midnight. It's a question of what's more locked in between August and Before Midnight, or maybe it'll be just something completely off the fucking wall. It'll be none of these. Captain Phillips and The Wolf of Wall Street are the only ones that actually get in. As far as my completely doubting The Wolf of Wall Street, it's in all three of the guilds. So
yeah.
I guess it's okay. And DiCaprio getting in BAFTA is a big deal. Scorsese did too.
Yeah.
And Terrence Winter is apparently very safe.
Oh yeah.
So, but once again, I'm very happy that it's going away from my predictions because my whole point of not predicting Wolf of Wall Street was afraid it was wishful thinking.
Yeah, of course.
I hope that doesn't jinx Daniel Bruhl, but that's another story.
We'll find out soon enough.
So of these,
it's a weird lineup.
Is Terrence Winter going to take it?
I honestly think so.
That seems the logical thing. This is,
Yeah.
I guess your runner-up would be. It's gotten so much love. I wouldn't. I'll say the runner-up is Linklater, Delby, and Hawk.
Yeah. What's your dark horse?
I keep wanting to say Tracy Letts based on name alone, but the only other option is Captain Phillips. And I've always imagined Captain Phillips getting in adapted screenplay, but I've never imagined it like winning anything for adapted screenplay.
And Peter Berg's not even in the conversation, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'll say Tracy Letts is the dark horse.
I don't know.
I'm
actually going to go with Captain Phillips as my dark horse.
Yeah. It could be any of them except Peter Berg.
I liked August, but I don't think it's going anywhere. I probably am going to be proven wrong now I've said that. Still. We got one more guild. Go ahead.
The only guild August got in was the one where Taurus, Slave, and Philomena weren't eligible.
Yeah,
so
that's a bad thing right there. Okay, the final one, we've had a lot of fun with the last two because there have been a lot of like, oh my god, this is on here and something's not. There's still, oh my god, this is in there and something's not in this one, but this one's a lot safer.
Oh, here's the thing about
way too safe.
Here's the thing about DGA, which is really funny. With this bullshit expanded Best Picture field.
Yeah.
With the 10 or the we don't know what number it's going to be depending on the 5% rule or whatever the fuck. The 5% rule that nobody understands. I don't think even Academy voters do.
No.
That's why they do it electronically so a fucking computer can do it for them because nobody fucking knows what the fuck the 5% rule is.
Yep. Not even PricewaterhouseCoopers knows.
I'm sure there's somebody watching this going, oh, well, I have this all figured out. But nobody knows what the fucking 5% rule is. No. Basically, the excitement people used to have over Best Picture has been moved to Best Director.
Yeah.
Because it's still 5, and it basically tells you... I mean, there was always one or two...
last year.
There was always... in the five picture slots, there was always, like, 1 or 2 director nominees that didn't get in picture, but...
Yeah.
Apart from that, basically, Best Director acts as Best Picture now.
in essence, yes.
Because last year, particularly last year, with Affleck not being nominated, nobody gave a fuck what won picture. Everybody wanted to know who the fuck was going to win Best Director.
Because Affleck wasn't winning, because he wasn't even nominated.
Yeah, it was pretty clear it was going to be Ang Lee, just because... That was one of those rare occasions for kind of getting off this year, but I'm stuck on last year for a second.
It's not a problem.
Last year was one of those rare cases where the only reason everybody knew Ang Lee was going to win, all you had to do was watch Life of Pi.
Yes.
And you just knew.
It was an awesome, awesome movie, and I had no qualms with him winning.
I had this horrible, horrible pit in my stomach. I had this horrible, horrible vision in my head of Haneke.
God, I'm glad that didn't happen.
When Tarantino beat him for screenplay, you knew that wasn't happening.
Exactly.
God, I love saying that.
I know, it makes me happy too.
Okay. I always trail off into that Haneke bashing thing.
Yes.
Okay, DGA was Poirot, McQueen, Greengrass, Scorsese, and Russell.
I have a problem with one name on that list. I'm sorry.
The Coen brothers are still missing.
Yeah, why the Coen brothers? Where's Alexander Payne?
Payne, I think, will replace Scorsese in the Oscar lineup.
I want to say he'll replace Greengrass, but more I think about it, Captain Phillips
This seems to be the consensus, though. I'm probably just on that Payne thing just because I want my predictions to be right, but these 5 seem pretty solidified.
I've been calling Payne. Well, with Durham winning actor, that'll help.
People tend to get... Okay. Let me explain this, because this has been causing a ruckus.
Okay.
I'm waiting for you to quote me after that.
I did it the other day.
Yeah. There's this thing that everybody knows is going on between American Hustle and the Wolf of Wall Street. It was mainly a critics thing. It's not an industry thing, so maybe it's nothing. I can't help but think. I've already expressed a few times my distaste for what Russell did with American Hustle.
Yeah.
Because normally my favorite director is Tarantino.
Yeah, obviously.
So obviously I don't mind when directors borrow shit from other people.
True.
But for some reason, American Hustle was so Scorsese, I couldn't get it out of my head, and it was distracting as fuck.
Really?
It was just... It is so... Goodfellas and Casino. Like, the first half an hour is Goodfellas, and then the rest is more like Casino.
Yeah.
And it's just... Lawrence is even doing Sharon Stone a little bit.
Yeah.
The blonde hair and everything. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, not necessarily because of the feud, but just because of how reminiscent American Hustle is to Scorsese, and how apparent that is. Everybody will mention that. I found it hard to believe that they would both get in.
Okay.
There's a lot of people that think that's a ridiculous theory. I don't know. But seeing as how The Wolf of Wall Street will be a bit divisive, if you want to put it mildly.
Yeah.
And American Hustle has obviously got a lot of support. I would say Russell is a lot more likely than him as far as getting nominated.
Definitely.
See, I had no idea that it wasn't so much that it's a surprise to me that American Hustle is doing as well as it was, but it was just kind of, you have this 12 Years a Slave Gravity thing going on for so long. American Hustle is kind of that movie you're not paying attention to, but it's kind of like the tortoise. It's just, and both 12 Years a Slave and Gravity are fucking hares.
Yep.
So, I do think, well, obviously I have the theory of, as far as who's winning, it'll be, I used this example before. Please don't hate me, but it's the only example I can think of to use to back this up.
Okay.
I think Steve McQueen is this year's Tom Hooper. But I'm not saying that as far as quality. Because clearly 12 Years a Slave is much more masterfully directed than fucking what Hooper did with The King's Speech. With the fucking... Call him first over here, but let's shoot the whole goddamn room and have him in the corner thing.
Yeah. I like The King's Speech, but Hooper should not have won.
But what I've been saying is, this reminds me, I know it's not, I'm always bashing people for using other years as an excuse for predicting something, but I really can't help but get out of my head that this year is a lot like the Social Network King's Speech battle.
Mm-hmm.
Because for a while there, we have the Social Network, which is Gravity.
Yeah.
And we have Fincher, who is Quaron.
Okay.
Everybody loved Gravity. Everybody was all over Gravity, and everybody was, everybody's in love with it. It's going to win everything. It's going to be
Still
this big thing, and Quaron's going to sweep and everything. And then we had 12 Years a Slave, which is this historical movie that critics love. Critics seem to love simply because it's their job to love movies like this. Maybe not. Some of the reviews, I mean, I know a lot of people have passion for this. I really love this movie.
Yeah, it's an awesome movie.
But most of it. But there were a lot of reviews that seemed very insincere and seemed like critics just being critics. Feeling like it was basically doing their job of praising a movie like 12 Years a Slave. Which is kind of somewhat the kind of movie The King's Speech was. Which is not the best of The King's Speech either. It's great. I think I like The King's Speech better than 12 Years a Slave. And you obviously know how much I like 12 Years a Slave. So that says something.
I probably agree with you on that, actually.
But I'm just saying, there was that moment where you have the really cool movie with the really beloved director that hasn't really gotten much notice. Okay? And then you have... It's a Brit again, too. And you have 12 Years a Slave over here. Now what's going to happen is everybody was when The King's Speech started to surge, everybody was like, okay, fine, The King's Speech is going to take it, but Fincher is still winning.
Yep.
Just like people are going to say, okay, fine, 12 Years a Slave is taking taking picture, but Quaron's still going to get director.
No.
And people will believe that, but then Hooper took the DGA.
Yep.
And everybody's fucking head exploded.
Exactly.
I think McQueen will take the DGA in the same fashion. Thus making the race more boring and Oscar-like. We can't always have amazing what-the-fuck years like last year.
Yeah, that year was awesome.
Or Ron Howard for Apollo 13.
Yeah.
If people aren't informed on that, Ron Howard won the DGA for Apollo 13 and wasn't nominated for the Oscar.
So your prediction obviously is 12 Years a Slave.
Yes.
So you have McQueen winning. You have who's your second place?
Quaron. And then probably Russell.
I'm gonna go out there on this one. I think this is when it starts, and I think it's not gonna stop after this. I think David O. Russell is gonna win the DGA. I think McQueen is your second place, and I think your dark horse in this case is actually going to be Quaron.
They I've been hearing this and it's really interesting. You know how everybody hates Dances with Wolves?
Yeah.
Because everybody's... One of the biggest complaints you hear from everybody is, why didn't Goodfellas win Best Picture? Yes, it should have, but really, it was 1990 and you're still complaining. And Dances with Wolves is perfectly fine.
Forrest Gump versus Pulp Fiction?
Yeah, or Shawshank.
Yeah.
But the thing is people are saying, wouldn't it be funny if you have American Hustle, who, to put it bluntly, I'm not just flat out saying this, I'm just saying to put it in simple terms.
Okay.
If a complete and total Goodfellas ripoff like American Hustle did win Best Picture.
I don't know what it's been about it, and it's not an Argo thing, it's not a Crash thing. It's one of those things when I first heard about American Hustle, when you first told me about it, I was thinking that
we had that very first video where we both said nobody knows what the fuck's happening right now, and back then we hadn't even seen footage of American Hustle, and we said basically if we were stuck in an alley and we had a gun to our head and for some reason somebody said, I'm gonna kill you if you don't tell me who's gonna win Best Picture. Our answer then would have been American Hustle, just because.
I want to know what goof would grab us in a dark alley and ask us about Best Picture.
Well, it's like Aziz's bit about Joe Pesci trivia.
Yeah. Very nice.
Going back to Goodfellas, by the way.
There you go.
That was a great tie-in.
Yes, it was. Good job. Obviously, the DGA lineup is my lineup, with the exception of the fact I don't have Scorsese in my lineup, which was a mistake.
Spike Jonze is still a threat here too.
Yeah, he is. And where are the Coen brothers?
We may be putting too much. We may be putting too much into Pain.
Maybe we're putting too much into Pain, and maybe everyone else is putting too much into Spike Jonze.
Or Scorsese.
He's starting to get a last minute.
The whole movie is getting
jump
a
now.
surge.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's got a box office surge too.
It was #1 in the box office for one day.
And it's actually higher now in the lineup than it was when it first came out.
Yeah.
So is American Hustle is like doing really well now.
It's doing very well.
So
That was good.
That's the guilds.
All right, so
The important ones.
Yeah, there's a couple other guilds too, but we're not going to discuss those.
Yeah, they have way too many categories.
Yes, they do. Okay, so because this is Saturday's video, tomorrow is the Golden Globes, and that's going to be awesome. Next Thursday is the Critics' Choice Awards, which is also the day that the Oscars, the official nominations, come out, and that video will be up somewhere in the next couple weeks. I don't have.
And we can put an end to all this fucking mess.
Yes. So we have the Critics' Choice Awards this coming Thursday. That video, long day. We have the Critics' Choice Awards came out this past Thursday. Next Thursday will be the Screen Actors Guild Awards nomination prediction video, and then we have the BAFTAs that next Thursday, the Spirit Awards the final Thursday of January, and the Oscars are the first Thursday in February, which will be the start of love-themed verses. So that'll be entertaining. So, hope you guys and girls out there enjoyed this Guilds video a little longer than I was anticipating it was going to go, to be totally honest. And, again, go out, watch movies, and enjoy the award season. So, until a little bit later, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.